Always a great time anytime the UFC heads to London. They're back in London this weekend, back at the O2. I love this card. A little something for everyone. It's a very fun card, a card that I think will represent some massive movement in the welterweight division with the main event featuring the former champion Leon Edwards returning for the first time since he fought and lost his title back in July of last year to Bilal Muhammad, going up against the surging, the rising star, the pride of Philadelphia, the one and only Sean Brady. Brady taking this fight on short notice about 3 or so weeks ago. He replaced Jack Della Maddalena, who was moved to the Montreal card in May after Shavkat Rakhmonov got injured. And so here's Brady, who has been asking for this fight, who hasn't fought since September, who looked fantastic in his win over Gilbert Burns, who has looked very good in his last two fights since his loss to Bilal Muhammad, his only loss in his pro career, and of course, only loss in the UFC. And on paper, there's a lot of people who think he's a nightmare matchup for Leon. What kind of Leon Edwards is going to show up after that very disappointing performance against Bilal back in July of last year, where he lost his title, hasn't fought since? On paper, one would think that the wrestler Sean Brady, the guy who is a little bit younger, a little bit more aggressive, loves to take the fight to the mat, would be a big problem for Leon. But Leon has had success against wrestlers as of late, the likes of Kamaru Usman and of course Colby Covington. Although they're very, very different wrestlers. Completely different styles, if you will. Brady, a slight favorite, believe it or not. I have a feeling this one is going to go into the championship rounds. 5-round main event. I'd be very surprised if it ends sub 2.5 rounds. I feel like we're going to the fourth or fifth. And quite frankly, it feels like a 3-2, 4-1 type of fight in terms of a decision. But I think it's a massive fight because I think the winner of this fight is probably one fight away and one win away from getting into that title picture. So massive, massive stakes. I'm looking forward to it very much. Also looking forward to the return of Mr. Polish Power himself, Jan Blachowicz, the pride of Poland, coming back for the first time since July of 2023. It's been that long since Jan Blachowicz last fought. His last fight was against Alex Pereira in Utah, believe it or not. Think about all the stuff that has happened since then, and he's going up against the red-hot Carlos Ulberg. He's going up against the red-hot Carlos Ulberg, who has been doing great things at 205 and who appears to be on the cusp of big things in the light heavyweight division. Love this fight. Could it be a passing of the torch, a changing of the guard, so to speak? We'll see. Place to be for all the action? BetMGM. If you're a first-time user, put in the name Helwani. We hook you up. You know how we do. Enjoy the fights, my friends. Talk to you next week.